This is Cindy G, and in this video we are assembling the oven box card. So I've got all my pieces laid out and I'm just going to pick one and start assembling. So this piece here is the back of the box. And I'm looking at my pieces and I see that I forgot to cut out my pieces for the sentiment. So you'll have two pieces in your file that will layer together. And those are for the sentiment on the back of the card. Okay. So this piece, you see I use silver. These are your knobs for the top of your stove. Behind that. This piece is supposed to be like your oven clock. So if you wanted to add some hash marks to that, that would be really cute to your clock face. It was just too tiny. I tried circles and a couple other things, but it was just too small. It didn't cut out and look nice, so it's just a plain circle. But even just a simple little, I think I'm just going to use my pencil and just doing like little marks. My paper is textured, so my lines aren't coming out really straight. Well, that kind of makes it kind of look like a clock. So that's the back of the box card. This is the front. It has a hole in it. It has a piece here that you're going to glue to the back for your oven handle. And it lines up to the top edge, so you don't have to guess where to stick it. Okay. So we're going to assemble each one of these pieces. This piece, because the oven door is open, this has a little piece. This is to be the door. That's open. Put that on there. And your oven mitt. Okay, now there's a panel piece for the knobs for this oven as well. And then this lines up exactly with the hole, but all around the outside edge there is a slight border. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put this piece on. I'm just using my fingers to force it to line up exactly with that opening. There we are. Before I put my oven door on, and I should have done it probably before I put this piece on. If you line this up like this, then you can put this piece on by just fitting it right inside there, and then it'll be exactly where it needs to be inside the oven. So I'm going to do that real quick. Slide it right in the cutout. Lift that off. Now that is right where it needs to be inside that oven. Okay. So now we can come back to here. If these get slightly off, it would be hard to get this inside. That's why I wanted to do it before I put layers on. And again, this cutout is exact. Okay, and now with that in place, I can more easily line up where I want my other oven doors to go. There we are. Whoops, it slid. Okay, that's better. Good, the glue only got on my mat and not on my card. Maybe a little bit on my card. Okay. So that's pretty easy. I'm just going to add glue to the top of this. Just so the bottom will be up just a little. I don't know if I'd want a pop dot. That might be a little too high, but that adds just a little bit of dimension. I'm going to go ahead and fold these. And I have glued this on backwards, so there's nothing I can do to save this, but I'm going to keep it and I'll just have it put together wrong. So you'll want to flip this piece over and put that on the inside of your card, unlike what I just did. I've got it on the back. Not too bright. I'm going to grab some brown ink. And toast up my bread a little bit. I think. If I have any ink left on my pad. Pop this bread in the oven. There we go. Now this is a stove that has half of it is like a warmer. It's not got burners all the way across. Those of you who are my age out there will remember stoves like that. So that's why there's butter sitting on the stove. It's to soften. And after I did it, I thought, you know, there's people who may not really understand why I'm putting butter on my stove. But even on today's stoves, if you're using real butter and you need to soften it while you're cooking, put it on a plate and set it, of course not on a burner, but just on your stove. And once it softens, remove it. That is a very fast way to get your butter softened. And it's better than the microwave. Okay, so this is the insert. And again, please, I hope if you were doing it with me that you have the ability to correct that. So I'm just going to recut these pieces and put them on the front as well. So that's a good way to correct it. If you do the same thing I did, just cut those out again and you can have decoration on the back as well. But your clock would not be on the back of your oven. Stove. I'm setting this down so I can make sure everything is level and that my card's going to stand well. And I'm going to come to the inside. I'm going to turn this upside down. And I'm going to put glue here on it and just close it up. Okay. So put glue on the tab. And you have your tab out straight, and right where it connects, right where the side connects to your back piece, you're going to line that up to that and just fold this over, close it on it, okay? And this is the best way to get these cards lined up. You don't have to struggle with the inside trying to get everything glued in there, and then you just fold this side over and glue this one down, okay? And then we're going to put glue here on our tab and close it up. Fold it both ways to train your paper. And now, as you can see, there is your oven box card without the top because I did it on the wrong side. Thank you for joining me.